Never trust anyone who has not brought a book with them. Reading is one form of escape. Running for your life is another. A good library will never be too neat or too dusty because somebody will always be in it, taking books off the shelves and staying up late reading them. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that it's nonsense. If you are allergic to a thing, it is best not to put that thing in your mouth, particularly if the thing is cats. Don't repeat yourself. It's not only repetitive, it's redundant, and people have heard it before. Fate is like a strange, unpopular restaurant filled with odd little waiters who bring you things you never asked for and don't always like. Wicked people never have time for reading. It's one of the reasons for their wickedness. It is always sad when someone leaves home, unless they are simply going around the corner and will return in a few minutes with ice cream sandwiches. All cannot be lost when there is still so much being found. In my experience, well-read people are less likely to be evil. People aren't either wicked or noble. They're like chef's salads with good things and bad things chopped and mixed together in a vinaigrette of confusion and conflict. Everyone should be able to do one card trick, tell 2 jokes, and recite 3 poems in case they are ever trapped in an elevator. I suppose I'll have to add the force of gravity to my list of enemies. Do the scary thing first and get scared later. All nights are dark days because night is simply a badly lit version of day. When things don't go right, go left. Assumptions are dangerous things to make, and like all dangerous things to make, bombs, for instance, or strawberry shortcake, if you make even the tiniest mistake, you can find yourself in terrible trouble. If everyone fought fire with fire, the whole world would go up in smoke. Anyone who thinks the pen is mightier than the sword has not been stabbed with both. Siblings that say they never fight are most definitely hiding something. There's nothing wrong with occasionally staring out the window and thinking nonsense, as long as the nonsense is yours. Miracles are like pimples because once you start looking for them, you find more than you ever dreamed you'd see. When trouble strikes, head to the library. You will either be able to solve the problem or simply have something to read as the world crashes down around you. Sometimes the things you've lost can be found again in unexpected places. Oftentimes, when people are miserable, they will want to make other people miserable too, but it never helps. Tears are curious things, for like earthquakes or puppet shows, they can occur at any time, without any warning and without any good reason. It is one of life's bitterest truths that bedtime so often arrives just when things are really getting interesting. One should never ignore bullies. One should stop them. Anyone who gives you a cinnamon roll fresh out of the oven is a friend for life. What happens in a certain place can stain your feelings for that location, just as ink can stain a white sheet. You can wash it and still never forget what has transpired. A word which here means happened and made everybody sad. It is one of the peculiar truths of life that people often say things that they know full well are ridiculous. It was a curious feeling that something could be so close and so distant at the same time. Grinning is something you do when you are entertained in some way, such as reading a good book or watching someone you don't care for spill orange soda all over himself.